Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Off Campus. Kindly subscribe our channel Off Campus and then click on the bell icon also. Then only we will receive notification whenever we upload videos. In this video, we are going to see in engineering mathematics. Under engineering mathematics, we are going to see the introduction of vector calculus. In this topic, we are going to see what is the differential operator del and what is gradient and what is divergence and what is curl and what is solenoidal and what is irrotational and what is curl and all. Okay. Just we are going to see the introduction of the vector calculus. So, first what is that? Vector differential operator del. The vector differential operator del, read as del, del, del. It can be read as del, del is denoted by del is equal to I dou by dou x plus j dou by dou y plus k dou by dou z. Now, what is that? Del squared. Del squared means nothing but del dot del. So, just do the cross product of del dot del I and I dot I 1. So, dou by dou x into dou by dou x is nothing but dou squared by dou x squared plus dou squared by dou y squared plus dou squared by dou z squared is nothing but del squared is nothing but Laplacian operator. Now, this is the del operator and the expansion of del square del function. Then what is del squared and it is called as Laplacian operator. Then we are going to see the gradient of a scalar function. If phi of x comma y comma z is a scalar point function continuously differentiably in a given region of space, then the gradient of phi is defined by, what is gradient? We know gradient is nothing but this del only, I into dou by dou x plus j into this term. Okay. Then what is del phi? Just multiplication of phi. So, I into dou phi by dou x plus j into dou phi by dou a plus k into dou phi by dou z. Thus, grade phi is equal to del phi. Grade phi or it is denoted as del phi. Okay. Or grade phi is nothing but summation of I vector into dou phi by dou x. So, when we expand, we will get this. Okay. Then, note, del phi is actually a vector quantity. Okay. This is very important. Del phi or grade phi is nothing but a vector quantity. When we doing this expansion, we will get only the vector. Okay. So, it is a vector quantity. Del phi equal to 0 means if phi is a constant means when we differentiating, if it is a constant means when we differentiating this, we will get 0 na. So, if phi is a constant, then automatically del phi is equal to 0. Then third one, del of phi 1 comma phi 2, it is nothing but UV, differentiation of UV format, phi 1 into del phi 2 plus phi 2 into del phi 1. Okay. Then del of phi 1 divided by phi 2 is nothing but a differentiation of u by v format. What is that? Phi 2 into v du minus u du v divided by v squared, where phi 2 is not equal to 0. Phi 2 into del phi 1 minus phi 1 into del phi 2 divided by phi 2 squared if phi 2 is not, should not be equal to 0. Then phi del into phi plus or minus del into phi plus or minus psi is equal to del phi plus or minus del psi. Just a multiplication. Okay. Then we will move on to the next one. Directional derivative. What is actually a directional derivative? The derivative of a point function, it may be a scalar point function or a vector point function in a particular direction is called its directional derivative along the direction. So, the derivative of a point function may be a scalar or vector function in a particular direction is called its directional derivative along the direction. So, then what is the formula for directional derivative? The directional derivative of a scalar point function phi of x comma y comma z in the direction of a is given by del phi dot a vector divided by modulus a vector. Then this is very important directional derivative formula. Okay. In future we will solve problem based on this. Okay. Directional derivative of phi is maximum in the direction of phi del phi. Directional derivative of phi is maximum in the direction of del phi. Hence, the maximum directional derivative is modulus. When we are asked to solve for maximum directional derivative, we need to find out the modulus del phi or modulus grade phi. Okay. Then we'll going to see the unit normal vector to the surface. Unit normal vector to the surface. If phi of x comma y comma z be a scalar function, then phi of x comma y comma z equal to c represents a surface, and the unit normal vector to the surface phi is given by, this is the formula for unit normal vector, del phi divided by modulus del phi. This is also very important. In this video we are going to see the formulas and definition formulas and introduction of all these terms. In our future videos we will solve problems based on this type. Okay. Then what is the divergence of a vector function? If f of x y z is continuously differentiable vector point function in a given region of space, then divergence of f is given by del dot f, or it can be said as divergence f. Del dot f or divergence f is nothing but I into dou f by dou x plus j into dou f by dou y plus k into dou f by dou z, or in short we can write it as summation of I into dou f by dou x. Okay, expansion of this one. Then if f is equal to f vector may be f1 I vector f2 j plus f3 k, then divergence of f is nothing but del dot f1 this term I plus f2 j plus f3 k. So divergence f is nothing but dou f1 by dou 2 for this, dou f2 by dou y plus dou f3 by dou z. So del dot f is a scalar point function. So whenever differentiating this one and adding this, we will get one scalar value. Okay, so divergence f or del dot f is the scalar point function, or whereas gradient f here simply del phi is a vector quantity, whereas del dot f is a divergence function, is a scalar point function, where grade f or grade phi is nothing but a vector point function, vector quantity. So we should be aware of those. Okay. Then definition. What is a solenoidal vector? Solenoidal means when a vector is said to be solenoidal if it is divergence is equal to 0 or del dot f equal to 0 means the vector is said to be a solenoidal vector. Then what definition of curl of vector function? If f of x, y, z is differentiable vector point function defined at each point x, y, z, then the curl of f is defined by curl of f is equal to del cross f. What is del expansion? We know I into dou by dou x plus j into dou by dou y, that. Okay, when it is curl means I cross dou f by dou x plus j cross dou f by dou y plus k cross dou f by dou z. Curl of, in short we can write it as summation of I cross dou f by dou x. What is f? If f is equal to f1i plus f2j plus f3k means then curl of can be written as ijk format. Ijk, then dou by dou x ijk, then dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou by dou z in the second row. Then what is in the third row? Just write down the f term. What is given in the problem? Here if f is equal to f1, f2, f3. Okay. I, j, k in the first row. Second row dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou by dou z. This one. Then third one is f is equal to f1, f2, f3, na f1, f2, f3. This is the basic expansion. We all know that matrix determinant expansion. So I into this term dou f3 by dou y minus dou f2 by dou z minus j into this term dou f3 by dou x minus dou f1 by dou z plus k into this one dou f2 by dou x minus dou f1 by dou y. This all we know. Curl f is also said to be rotation f. Curl f is also said to be rotation f. Then definition of irrotational vector. Irrotational vector means curl. What is a curl? Curl of a function del cross f. Okay. Curl is also called as rotation. Okay. Then what is irrotational? Irrotational means nothing but del cross f equal to 0 or curl f equal to 0. Whenever curl f equal to 0, it is called as irrotational vector. Whenever divergence of f is equal to 0, it is said to be solenoidal. Whenever curl f is called, it is said to be irrotational vector. Divergence is a scalar quantity. Grade is a gradient of anything, grade phi or grade f or anything is a vector quantity. Then what is a curl f? Curl f is also a vector quantity, because when we expanding we will get the vector value only, okay, ijk value, okay. We can end the video up to this, because we have seen the formulas for basic definition and formula for what are all? Differential operator del, gradient and divergence and curl, and what is solenoidal and irrotational, and then directional derivative and unit normal, okay. In our upcoming videos we will solve problems based on this. Kindly subscribe our channel Off Campus and then click on the bell icon also. If we have posted many videos under engineering mathematics and as well electronic subjects. If you haven't seen those videos still, kindly check with the playlist. Thanks for watching.